Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Fun Fans Podcast. I'm your host, James Dillard. With me, as always, my co-host, Bailey Jackson. How you doing, B?
I'm good. I'm sitting in the epicenter of the heat wave in the United States.
I heard that. You are not alone for sure. We have a great show tonight. College football season is only 4 weeks away. Remember, there is a week 0. Clemson's football season is 5 weeks away. We'll discuss the high expectations that seem to be on the Tigers' shoulders this year, and the parking designations went out this week, and man, oh man, some IPTAY donors are not the happiest in the world. But first, Fun Fans are a proud part of Greenville Sports Media Podcasting Network. If you're a true sports fan, Greenville Sports Media is perfect for you. Find various nationwide podcasts, latest articles, and other sports media at greenvillesportsmedia.com, who can also be found on all forms of social media, just like the Fun Fans. Fun Fans Podcast is the official podcast for Clemson fans.
And the official food, sports, spirits, and catering for the Fun Fans is Reuben's, the best wings around, with 2 locations in the upstate, 1083 Batesville Road in Greer, 11028 Anderson Road in Piedmont. Their website is reubens.com. Reuben's is simply a great place to eat for all sports fans.
Reuben's C. All right, Bailey. First of all, it's 3 o'clock. It's early. It's afternoon time. It's speaking of hot. We
got stuff to do.
Yeah, we got. Tell them why we're early.
We've got to go to the South Carolina Athletic Coaches Association Hall of Fame banquet tonight. Not for a Hall of Fame induction, but I am picking up a 30-year recognition for 30 years in high school athletics.
30 years. It's a long time. So we
I'm
have
sure
to work.
James will be taking pictures.
That yeah, I'll be there. One of our coaches is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, and another one of our athletic directors being getting the 30-year thing like you are. So, got to work, man. Sometimes you got to bring home the bacon, right?
That's it.
All right. So anyway, that's why we're early, but we appreciate you joining us if you're here. And of course, this will be here for the folks that hop on at 8 p.m. tonight. So, all right, football season is right around the corner. We have LSU in 5 weeks. And Bailey, I know you listen to the sports radio and you see similar and different, but probably just as much stuff as I do.
Yeah.
But Clemson is predicted to have to say they're predicted to have a really good season is an understatement. Most everybody has them winning the ACC. Honestly, most all the talking heads have them making the playoffs, not just making the playoffs, but getting a bye, being in the top 4. Some folks even talk about Clemson winning the national championship. Cade Klubnik is being talked about as a Heisman candidate, maybe the best quarterback in the country. I mean, what else are they saying good about Clemson?
Well, even Paul Feinbaum said that, he admitted, I said a couple years ago, Dabo was done and he might not be finished yet. Here's what I do know. I know Clemson returns 80% of their production from last year, and the national average is 50%. I know they have the highest player retention rate in the country. I know they have a new defensive coordinator who is going to make a difference. And I know the defensive line is the best in the country. I know the receiving core is the best in the country. So, put 2 and 2 together, that means you're going to be pretty good. Now, Clemson does have a harder than normal ACC schedule. 6th hardest ACC schedule at Louisville on a Friday night.
Yeah, that's not
at Georgia Tech in the 2nd week of the season. Or the 3rd week of the season. And then Gus Malzahn is calling plays at Florida State now. So.
Yeah, Florida State's going to be different than last year.
Yeah, and they have a new quarterback, an old quarterback who's a new quarterback, Castellanos, who is at Boston College.
I was thinking that's who that was, and yeah, he's legit. So that's a good move for the Seminoles.
Here's the thing I love the most. Dabo said all week at the ACC meetings in Charlotte, they stay at Clemson because they love the place.
Mm.
Well, we already told them that, right? We told them that. And the culture at Clemson is the reason these kids stay, and it's the reason they're recruiting like crazy.
Well, either way, it definitely should be, the high expectations. Go Tigers! Have the pros and cons. the pros and cons to high expectations. You know, if we don't win the ACC or don't make the playoffs or don't win the national championship, some fans will be upset. But speaking of the fan perspective, going into the season, it's personally, I would rather be the underdog. You know, I don't how you feel about that, and how you think most fans do. A lot of folks, they love that they're talking good about us and picking us to win everything, or we'd rather just kind of be on the short, be on what did Dabo say? We're on the oh man, he said the rest of y'all. We're on the rest of y'all bus or whatever.
The Roy bus. The
Roy bus.
That's the bus that pulls around all the rest of them players when they run down the hill. But here's the thing. I've been in both situations.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Been ranked preseason number 1. I will say that we finished the season ranked number 1 that year. But we started 3-2 because my big guy got hurt. Well, what's wrong? Well, 6'8" got hurt the second day of practice. We're going to get him back.
Right.
All right. But I've also been on the other end. I would, if you're ranked highly and there's a lot of expectations, that means you got some really good players.
And hopefully they just step up, and that'll give us something, us fans, something to just continue to cheer about. So yeah, they brought
in Ben Boulware to coach linebackers.
Right.
I mean, look, this is going to be special. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones,
folks. And me and you, we leave it to Dabo. He's the one with the natties.
He's the coach.
He's the coach. Some folks, he's hiring all these former players. Ben Boulware, whatever you say of him as a coach, and I don't know him, but I guarantee you his expectation, no matter what the media is saying, his expectation is going to be to go out there and win. So, and that is something that it's kind of like you definitely don't want some coach. A lot of times the old coaches are sitting back thinking, oh, well, and worrying too much about X's and O's and statistics, but Ben's gonna have them getting after it for sure.
Well, and he is a former player who understands the expectations,
right?
And that you need a few of those pieces. You need a couple of those guys in your program.
All right, we're speaking of the fan experience and kicking off the first week. And this isn't in the script, but it just hit me. This will be Lee Corso's. You're talking about it'll be a special Saturday for football fans because it'll be Lee Corso's last college game day. So that'll be something to check out. And he will likely pick Clemson. Everybody pays attention to those picks at the end of the show. And they are not at the Clemson LSU game. They're at Ohio State, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So, as far as the headgear and that kind of thing, it'll be Ohio State or whoever it is they're playing. But that'll be a cool thing. Hopefully Corso will pick the Tigers, and we'll definitely get a W. Or maybe he won't pick the Tigers, and we'll still be underdogs.
It don't matter who he picks.
and we normally historically, I think Corso picks not Clemson. And we end up winning, end up making him look wrong. So that's always a good way to go. But anyway, all right. But more importantly, we talked about it a little bit this last week, August 30th, week 1 for the Tigers versus LSU, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. It's a night game, but people need to remember it won't be dark till like halftime, but that's okay. It'll still be evening, maybe a little bit before half. That'll still be cool. And the tailgate, obviously the tailgate's where it's at. So last week I asked Bailey, if Jay mainly had any surprise for the tailgate or anything new, and you said it was going to be a surprise, right?
Yeah, but I can't tell you, or it wouldn't be a surprise.
Well, the question is now that this week, the new thing this week is the parking has come out. If you IPTAY and you get a parking with your season tickets, you should have gotten an email. And it looks like the Fun Fans are going to be in lot 10. Does that have anything to do with the surprise? Does that change anything or no?
No.
Okay. Very good.
We can park wherever.
So whatever it is, it's going to work for any spot. One thing I thought of, if anybody's come by our tailgate or you've seen the pictures, we have banners on the tent. Well, being in lot 10 and from my guesstimation based on the map and all, we're probably going to be somewhere fairly in the center. And we love for people to be able to find us. People stop by and, they look for us and come see us, and whether they're tailgating with us for a short time or just stopping by and saying hello or not. Based on this location, Bailey, we might have to go from banners to the flag. The tailgates with to get one of those flag poles and a Fun Fans podcast flag waving up in the air and make us easier to find.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
All right. I like it. Maybe head on over to the TikTok shop. Speaking of Lot 10, so we're going to talk about, if you're from Lot 10 or if you've parked in Lot 10, it's the pit, which I said the pit, and my older daughter who graduated in 20, she still act like she know what I was talking about. So maybe they didn't call it the pit when she was there. But, if you're familiar with campus, familiar with the parking Lot 10, the pit, y'all know where it is. But we're going to go through some pros and cons. First, the cons. I don't know if Bailey, if you saw this or thought of any new ones, but the first one I put was walking up that hill to the stadium.
Yeah, there's going to be a climb involved, which it was a little uphill to the stadium anyway, but now it's like a lot uphill.
It's going to start out with a steep climb. Maybe we end every tailgate before we head to the game with isn't there some song about a climb? Is that a Taylor Swift thing or something?
Maybe we're probably going to have to stretch.
We'll have some calisthenics and some stretching for you. Yeah, that hill is not going to be not a fan. So the next one is getting out of there. Now I'm going to admit we've been spoiled on Centennial Extension. Last year being right on the corner, when we got in the truck, we could get. We were in front. We made it to Pendleton usually before the highway patrolman did. And even when we were backed up some on Centennial Extension, it wasn't much different. But now Lot 10 is going to be a whole different ballgame. You've got how many spaces in that lot? Guesstimation 500.
Well, they took about a third of them, so that's not going to hurt.
That should help.
And our spot, if you look at it, is actually closer to the entrance exit than not close to it. You feel it's on this side of half, and I don't think it's terrible. Everything I read online said it's not that hard to get in and out.
Not that hard. It shouldn't be hard to get in. We're generally there early enough to get in pretty good. And honestly, this year, at least with us having kids there, sometimes we might be in a hurry to go, but sometimes we may not be.
Yeah, so, we've been known to like to spread out, and it's going to be tougher.
Yeah, kind of the pros and cons could be for whoever's parking beside us. Maybe next show I'll have to make sure I know what our number is, so we can give a heads up. We might as well just plan to tailgate together if you're going to be bookcasing the Fun Fans.
Yeah, maybe we'll make new friends.
Yeah, we're all about making new friends. And the last con that I have is not that it's a far walk, honestly, other than the hill, but I definitely don't see us heading to the tailgate at halftime and then back into the stadium.
No, that seems like a challenge.
So the positive of that, though, is we'll probably get more. We'll see the band more. So that could be good. Maybe. Did you want to add any cons to the list, Bailey?
No, I mean, look, we were spoiled rotten last year. We had a corner lot. We can suck it up. No problem.
Yeah, Bailey's a very positive person, so I figured he wouldn't add to the cons list for sure. It's what makes him so much fun to hang out with. All right, so the pros, though, there are definitely some pros. It's still a reserved space, so it's it'll be our space when we get there. You never know what can happen. And I put the second one. I put that it's flat.
Right.
I mean, the one thing you can count on is that it's going to be flat and level, and your tent, you're not going to have to worry about any kind of crazy this, that, and the other when you're setting stuff up. So that's going to be a pro. Another one is some of the spaces in there are shaded, but I'm pretty sure ours is not. Did you go look at the map or anything?
Yeah, I don't think we're in the shade, but as the sun goes down, there's a chance those trees could shade us.
This is true.
I mean, our tent can shade us for sure.
Yeah,
and there is space right behind it, like the median.
Yes.
So I guess that all depends on like when you get there. If you're the first one there, you maybe get some of that space right behind. So
Oh, we're gonna get half of it, even if we're not heads.
yeah,
Maybe we heads up to the person that's across the median from us. I guess
yeah.
we'll scope it out and see what works out. But yeah, you're right. I think that a huge portion of that lot might be in the shade
Or
fairly
you could
quickly
park
into the
part of your
evening.
truck on it. Just
Well,
pull up on
so
the curbing,
you know,
create more room.
pro tip from the fun fans: the first time we do not unload the truck until we park the truck in various, you
Figure it
know,
out.
yeah, we figure out what's going to give us the most space. So
Matter of fact, we might meet over there and assess the situation beforehand.
we're going to be there Saturday, August 2nd. I figure y'all moving Wit out of summer school?
Yeah, but I think we're moving him out on the 1st,
Okay. Well,
which
we
is
might not.
and it's Friday.
The first is Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
the move out day is the second. But
Well, he has an exam. I think we're moving him out Friday after. He doesn't really have that much stuff. Look, you've got a female.
yes, it's a little
We
different.
we could move Wit out in 10 minutes.
Well, she's trying to follow the rules. I have kind of wondered why we're not moving out on Friday. It may have something to do with Friday's Grayson's birthday, and she's more worried about going to PF Chang's than
Oh,
moving
well,
out.
good idea.
She's going to come home. We're going to go out for her birthday in Greenville, and then she's going to come all the way home. Then we're all going to go back over there together Saturday morning. But yes, but if you're there, we're not there at the same time. We're definitely over there to scope it out. And then move-in day, if we may be there on the same day, but we will definitely figure out what is going to get us the most space possible. We talked about it being shade, and we talked about this kind of already about making new friends. One pro of Lot 10. There are definitely plenty of people surrounding us. Centennial Extension, you had people right beside you, maybe, but that was
Right.
it. The folks across the road may or may not even be tailgating in a way where you could get to know those folks. They were used on opposite sides of their cars. So with Lot 10, we're going to be surrounded by folks. So that could be fun.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. Well,
Yep. Do you have any pros to add to the list?
no, I mean it's in Clemson.
It is in Clemson. That is a
Yeah.
pro. And it's a short walk from Witt's dorm, I believe.
It is. That's. I was hoping, like I was really hoping they'd say, "Oh, y'all got Earl Hall."
Yeah,
That'd be
Earl would have been
awesome
good.
up at the top of the hill. Even though it's not a number spot, we could find a spot. We get there early enough, we'll find a spot.
I think some up there are numbered. It just we're going to get into that in a second. But first,
Might need to look for somebody to trade.
yeah, we're definitely.
We ain't done with it yet.
It ain't
Trade
done yet.
deadline's not there, not here yet.
But you know what you're gonna need to get up that hill if you're in Lot 10?
I'm gonna have to get me some W on the way up the hill.
You're gonna need some energy. Go to w.gg, enter promo code FUNFANS for 10% off of your Jitterless energy drink. All right, now speaking of the more discussion about the parking. So there's construction issues. It's not all construction related. Even some of folks that aren't affected by construction are getting bumped. Our situation, long story short, there's a gentleman who he's donating the same amount of money, and there is no construction between where his space used to be and the stadium. He's, he used to be way on up Centennial Extension. I mean, what, Bailey, 50 yards from the gate, and he's been getting bumped and getting bumped and getting bumped, and now he's bumped kind of where we were, and
we're the original location of the Fun Fans.
Yeah, the original. And the thing is, he called IPTAY, this was a year or so ago, and it's like, what's going on? And other people are just donating more money.
Right.
They're just more people donating more money, and he's kind of keeping it the same. I don't know what he donates, but it's more than I could afford to donate for sure. And he's getting bumped. But most folks are affected by the construction. A lot of folks, rather, are affected by the construction. It's a domino effect. But like Bailey said, we could check out some other spaces. And I went on TigerNet to look. I sent you a screenshot of one space. Have you gone on there and looked at how much these people are selling their spaces for?
Yeah, they're high.
It is something else. We're talking the ones kind of anywhere near the stadium. You're talking 3-4 You know, if
Well,
not $4,500.
The one in lot 10 that's actually over there closer to the steps, and it's number 36. It was posted today. It's going for $2,500 in the same parking lot that we're in.
Yeah, and that's just FYI. We appreciate the friends and family discount that we get from the Lee family on our parking. So yeah, I don't know. It's not. I just don't. Even if I had that, I've thought even if I had that much money, would I spend $4,000 to go back? The spaces we used to park in just 2 years ago are selling for like $3,500, $3,800. I just don't know if I would. This is for the season. Even if I had that money, I just don't know if I would spend that much money on that parking.
Right.
But
I know I wouldn't.
That's right.
Even but there's one in lot 6 which was posted, and it backs up to Perimeter Road, so you have that space on between the parking lot and perimeter to tailgate, and it was about $3,500.
Yeah. There's the lot 5 down there at Tiger Walk. Those are going for $3,800, if not $4,000, $4,500. It's something else. And even so, I also have a C1 parking. Raise your hand if you know where C1 is.
It's in Pendleton, isn't it?
It's close to Pendleton. It's just one turn away from being out of town.
Right.
Over there by Lightsey Bridge. It's an area lot. And those are selling for $700. Well, I say they're selling. Somebody was asking $750 for a C1, and that one's all the way across campus. But anyway, so the question is, we want to just address for a second. A lot of folks are, I know some people that have stopped going, and other folks are saying this is my last year. And it's not that they're getting upset, and it's more of a my feeling is they're not as mad as they are sad. You're talking about people, they've gone for years, they went with their parents or their grandparents, and now all of a sudden they can't afford to take their own kids and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And the question is, if you look at it from an IPTAY, that's the fan perspective. If you got plenty of money, it's fine. If you're new to the game, you don't know any different. Okay. These younger folks, or if you're new to Clemson, if you're our age and your kid's going to Clemson, you don't have nothing to do with Clemson. You're from New Jersey or Virginia or Florida or whatever. You don't know any different. So you're not upset. But the question is, do you think there are going to be long-term effects on the IPTAY donations if things keep going the way they're going?
No.
I don't either. What'll save them?
Winning.
Well, winning will be good. So I have a one friend that has a theory that if that, eventually Dabo's going to retire. I mean, he might coach 20 more years and but at some point, whenever Dabo's gone, you assume there'll be a drop off. If the winning goes away, whether it's Dabo or not Dabo, that could hurt, but that could likely be short lived. Money in business is 9 times out of 10 a numbers game. And you and I know this. One thing that's different from when you go back a generation, when you and I were students, they get 60,000 plus applicants every year now. Right. And that's been happening for about a decade. And you tell me if I'm wrong, Clemson's growing.
Right.
Clemson used to have 10 or 12,000 undergrads, and now it's over 20. So, your graduate base, which is the foundation of your fan base, is a lot bigger than it was 20 and 30 years ago. So I don't know that's going to hurt them. Because it's a finite number of people that are going to be buying the seats, parking in the parking. There's only so many spaces. So they're only looking for X number of people. And when they get a bigger pool of people to pull it from, I don't think they're going to have any trouble either.
And they're building parking that's going up. So they're multiplying 100 spaces times 6 or however many levels.
Well, from a supply and demand standpoint, when that first happens, the prices should go down a little bit, but I don't know that it'll be noticeable.
Right.
Probably won't be noticeable. So folks, if you're sad about that, I hate it. And that's just my prediction, but I don't see it. I don't see it changing. It's definitely not going to go back the way it used to be.
No. And if it does, that means Clemson's winning 5 games a year.
Yeah.
You don't want it to go back.
Then we'd be fussing about that.
Yeah.
All righty, very good. But we're still looking forward to it, and it's going to be great this year. Other sports news. Quick reminder that ESPN Sports Center is doing a 50 days in 50 states featuring the sports and history of, etc., from a certain state each day. And they are going to be all about the state of South Carolina on August 3rd. So that's right around the corner. And Bailey, you got an O's update for us?
Yep, treading water. That's what they do. About the same.
About the same.
Yep.
All right. So we talked a little bit about our kids already, and they're wrapping up summer start. But from a parent thing, Bailey, how long's Witt gonna be home? Have you looked?
Hold up a second. How long's Witt gonna be home between when he gets done with summer and when he goes? He moves back in on the 15th, so 2 weeks,
2 weeks
roughly. He's got a few things planned in that time period.
Right. So Grayson's only going to be home for 10 days due to rush. She's going back those however many days early because of rush. And she plans on spending like 4 or 5 of those days, potentially at least on a vacation with her boyfriend's family. So Grayson, if you're watching, I'm glad you got to see me here on the video. Because especially that time of year for all of us as parents, it ain't like we get to stay at home and hang out with our kids at the beginning of August.
Right.
We're cranking up a school year. All right. Speaking of, so it's documented my traffic anxiety. Traffic anxiety is documented. And I don't think this is a bad thing, but I believe everybody knows I'm kind of I'm a planner. Now you tell me if I'm wrong. Witt and Grayson, I mean, all the friends are invited to the tailgate, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna do the best I can to not require a head count. We're just gonna be ready.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you wrap this up because I've been told we need to leave.
Oh yeah, we got to go. So It's been a great show. Hope you enjoyed the show. We are headed to this banquet. Thanks again for checking us out. Don't forget to click subscribe on the Fun Fans Podcast YouTube channel as well as your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on social media and please share, reach out, and become a sponsor on behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast. Jay Thriller Entertainment, Greenville Sports Media, and Bailey Jackson.
Yep. Everybody stay cool.
Stay cool, stay hydrated, and thanks for listening.